Carl Storr here from Fightful.com. Joined on the line by undefeated prospect Rolando Romero, having his next fight on April 20 against Andres Figueroa on the undercard of Ryan Garcia versus Adrian Granados. Raleigh, how are you doing?
I'm great. I'm just here, excited to fight.
You know, how has training camp been going for you? I know for this fight, it's kind of been a quick turnaround, barely a month after your last fight against Nicolas Velasquez. So it's really just been, just preparing for this fight, been more or less the same as any of your other fights. Just sort of going, not necessarily going through the motions, but really just, keep on preparing and developing as you get deeper into the pro game.
Training camp's been good because, I don't have to get back in shape. I'm already in shape, so it's like, it's not going to be difficult for me to, make weight or any of that stuff. As far as sparring goes, it's been difficult for me to get sparring, but that's every camp, so, yeah, I had nothing I could do about that one.
I just saw your last fight against Nicolas Velasquez, and I can tell that was a hellacious knockout. A minute into that fight, and you've had quite a few impressive knockouts already in your career. Where does that knockout rank among the ones that you've already had as a pro?
Well, I think it's my third fast knockout. I think it's my third fast knockout. It's either my second or my third fast knockout. I can't. Man, they're only about a few seconds apart, So it's, it was a great knockout. I got in there, I got out, quick, The uppercut opened him up. The hook moved away his hand, and the right hand, I timed it perfectly for it just to hit him. It shattered his nose.
Yeah, I was reading it, he was bleeding a lot. It was like a crazy amount of blood. What was your kind of thoughts when you kind of saw him, bleeding a lot from his nose?
Well, I went up to him, and I fist bumped, and he had a rag of blood. He had a rag, it was a little red, And the second he let it go, a liter of blood just fell out of his nose. I was like, I've never seen something like that before. But the little gloves, are scary,
Yeah, it really is. But hey, you got the win. You're back in the saddle, already preparing for your next fight. I wanted to ask, you're obviously a very impressive prospect and an incredible knockout artist at this point already in your career. Where do you look at 2019 in terms of what your goals are? Is it simply just to get more rounds in, keep being active, or getting a step up in competition as the year goes on? What are your goals for 2019?
For 2019, by the end of the year, fight for Eliminator. 2020, beginning of 2020, fight for a title. And then unify the belt at 135. That's all my plans for the future right now.
Yeah, and that division is very, very stacked. 135 pounds. Obviously, you got the Lomachenkos, you got the Richard Comes of the world, the Teofimo Lopez's of the world. Obviously, you're friends with Teofimo Lopez, and he's doing very well on his own. When you look at how he's been progressing in his career, and he's also been delivering highlight knockouts, you feel happy for him that he's having the success that he's had? Does it kind of give you a little more motivation to sort of try to outdo him better in terms of the knockouts category and see which knockout's more impressive than the other?
I'm always going to be competing with everybody around me, It's just I'm a competitive person, but I'm happy for Teofimo. Yesterday I was at his house, I'm really close to his family, so I'm happy for him, And he's gonna do his thing, and if it does come down to it down the line where we do have to fight, it's best man takes it, I'm gonna go with myself.
I know last month there was a bit of a controversy. Well, not controversy, but there was some issues between you and Ryan Garcia stemming from that sparring session that you guys had a while back. Obviously, there's a lot of people were wondering, can we see that fight happening? Do you think that we will ever see Raleigh face off against Ryan Garcia down the road?
When he stops being a that's all. He doesn't want a title enough to want to fight me. He knows I'll end his career, so that kid's irrelevant. he needs me. That he needs me to sell the fight to give him the title. He needs me to fight Tank, and he ain't gonna get past me. He knows that, so he's kind of stuck, and he don't know what the to do. And then he's not getting no new fans or anything on the zone, so he's kind of stuck.
I look at kind of his progression. I look at your progression. He's fighting on the zone and stuff, and you're coming on up, and you're fighting on these big cards on the undercard, and you're delivering these incredible knockouts. Do you believe that you're at the point where you could see yourself later this year having a big TV fight and sort of elevating your status a lot more and getting into that contendership status?
Well, my last fight was supposed to be on TV, but it was a swing bout, so you never know. I guess one of the fights took just a little too long to put me on TV, and everybody wanted me on TV, Al wanted me on TV, and Al's giving me a lot of opportunities. He's giving me another opportunity. I'm gonna be a swing bout for this fight, hopefully the fight ends early, I hop on and knock him out. But they've given me a for-sure TV date in June. So after this fight, I'm going to be fighting on TV no matter what, for sure. And then from then on, every fight on TV.
I wanted to ask, a little bit more about you personally. Who did you grow up watching? I know you've come from a family of accomplished fighters or people in combat sports. Who do you grow up watching in terms of boxing? Who was your favorite fighters, or at least a group of fighters that you loved watching when you were a kid?
Well, as a kid, I never really watched boxing. The only really fights that I could remember is Macy and Feud Deloya Trinidad, or Feud Trinidad fights, and then Boy Shannon. But I started boxing when I was 17, so that's why I really started watching boxing. My favorite fighter, honestly, is Naseem Hamed. And then from there, Roberto Duran, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward. The list goes on, I like Trinidad, too. I love Trinidad's hood. So, just a huge variety of punchers and slick fighters.
Also, I always like to ask, fighters, kind of what they like to do, when they're not focusing on in the gym or preparing for a fight. Do you have any hobbies, that you do when you're not thinking about boxing 24/7 or preparing for a fight?
I eat a lot and I play chess.
Really? Oh, a chess player. That's one I have not heard of. I heard from when I ask fighters these questions. That's really interesting.
Yeah, boxing basically is chess, so the same thing. You got to practice it somewhere else,
Yeah.
And I just I like the competitive aspect. I just like being in competitions with everybody.
Yeah, I can definitely respect the competitive edge that you bring and the intensity that you carry every time you're in the ring. Obviously, I know I asked you what are your goals are for 2019. You said you hope to be in a title eliminator when it's all said and done. But fast forward maybe 18 months from now. It's April 2019. Fast forward to maybe October 2020, which is 18 months from now. Where do we see Raleigh as a boxer right now? Do we already see him end that world title picture in 18 months?
No. I'll have a world title belt. I would already have my world title, and then I'd probably be fighting my first defense around that time. Then maybe 2021 unify all the belts.
Awesome. Lastly, I want to ask you have a prediction for this fight against Andres Figueroa. You've won your last 3 fights by knockout. Do we see consecutive knockout number 4 in this fight?
First round knockout. First round knockout. It's gonna be a hook.
I like that. I like the confidence. Hook in the first round. I love the confidence. Raleigh, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me. Best of luck in your fight on April 20th. Any last comments before we sign off?
No, I mean, all my fans know what I bring in. If you don't know me, just tune in and you're going to fall in love with me too. So, everybody, if you like knockouts, watch me.
All right, Raleigh, again, thanks so much. Best of luck. Looking forward to seeing you in the ring and hope you get those TV fights down the line.
You'll see. Who knows, man? This fight will probably be on TV because of swing belt. But, you never know swing belt. But, thank you so much.